At the top level of women's domestic rugby in England, there aren't many games bigger than this one. In fact, scratch that, there aren't any games bigger than this one. This is it. The last game of the 2018-2019 season. The culmination of months of grueling training, Saturdays and Sundays playing in the wind, rain, snow, sleet, maybe a bit of sunshine, and two brutal but captivating semi-finals. This is the finals of the Tyrrell Premier 15s. I'm Adam Zolti, and alongside me is Amy Christophers.
Welcome to this very special edition of the Women's Rugby Show. Thank you for pressing play and joining Adam and myself for what is promised to be an exciting and exhilarating game. We have the two top teams in English rugby. We started the season with 10 teams. 90 games were played, 18 rounds. The final four were in the semi-finals, and now we are down to the last two. Yes, it's Saracens Women versus Harlequins Ladies.
That's right, Amy, and we are here today at Franklin's Gardens, home of Gallagher Premiership side Northampton Saints, for what we think is going to be an unbelievable game, and we're going to try and bring all the action to you. Now, we're here a little bit early, but the excitement's already building. There are fans walking around the stadium, so what we're going to try to do is grab some of them and get their opinions on today's match. Now, as well as that, Amy and I are going to take a detailed look at the two teams, maybe pick out one or two players and see if either of them will maybe making a difference to their sides today. Of course, we will try and bring you as much of the action as possible, including the moment either team lifts that trophy, for those of you that can't be here today or weren't able to watch it on TV. And then my favourite part of the show, at the end of the match, we're going to be speaking with players and coaches from both sides and getting their thoughts on this final. It's going to be awesome.
And if that isn't enough for your rugby fix, we're also giving away 2 tickets to the HSBC London Sevens final at the end of May, so stay tuned for that. But before we get to any of that, we have 4 simple things we need you to do.
Number 1, like this video.
Number 2, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Number 3, follow us on social media at Women's Rugby Show. The handles are below.
And lastly, number 4, tell everyone you know about the Women's Rugby Show.
Brilliant. Right, Amy, I'm absolutely pumped for this. So go on, tell me, who do you think is going to win?
Hold your horses. We'll get to that when we do the preview.
Well, no, we're here now. We might as...
Zip it, Adam. That's later. See, you didn't have to wait too long. We're now in the stadium and now it's time to preview the games. So let's take a look at the two teams. Brilliant.
Okay, great. So I will start with Saracens Women, the home team for today's match. So what do we know about Saracens Women? Well, for a start, they are the title holders. They won the Tyrrell Premier 15s last season. Guess who they faced in the final?
Harlequins.
Correct. Look, they finished the season at top of the table, so technically they're kind of the champions anyway. But they got here by beating Wasps 31-13 in the semi-final, and it wasn't a great game. Don't let that scoreline fool you. Saracens Women weren't great, but they got the job done. Now, when it comes to the regular season, they, like I said, they were top of the table. They were the second highest point scorers in the whole of the league, second only to
Harlequins.
Correct. But they were the top try scorers with 125 tries, which is unbelievable. Very impressive. What can we expect from Sarries? Well, as well as being strong in attack, they have the best defence in the whole league. So we know they're going to be strong in defence. They've got a really strong and powerful pack that are going to be dangerous in the rucks and the mauls. They know how to work that field play. And also they're really strong at set pieces as well. The likes of Hannah Bottoman, who scored a try in the semi-final, she scored in last year's final. expect her to probably score again today. They've got the likes of Rosie Gallagher and of course their vice captain Poppy Cleal as well. Mix that with Sonia Green, who she's in like her 14th or 15th season. That experience mixed with that youth, and they are definitely a threat. Now when it comes to their backs, I wouldn't say they had anyone that you could class as a superstar, but they've got quality all through those positions. And all of those players, I think collectively as backs, you expect them to be performing at 7, 8, 9 out of 10 every single game. Sarah McKenna is obviously going to be a threat for them at fullback. She's really dangerous going forwards. And of course their captain Lotte Clapp, she's another one that scored in the final last year and in the semi-final. But for me, two players that are going to make a really big difference today, in my opinion, are the two centres, Lauren Cattell and Hannah Casey.
And why do you think that?
Well, look, there's a reason that these two, have been so instrumental towards Saracens' season. Saracens have only conceded an average of 12 points a game throughout the whole season, and their defence is so good. A lot of that comes into play because of the two centres. Not only that, but we've seen them score amazing tries throughout the season. Both of them can, they've got powerful running, they're really fast, they've got quick feet. So I see those two as a real threat, a real key area for Saracens. But really, it's going to be about those individual matchups across the park for both teams that's going to really fascinate me today.
Okay, so now I'm going to look at Harlequin Ladies.
Great.
Just like their opponents, they were here last year in the final. Obviously they didn't win. So is it time for them to get their revenge? They beat Loughborough Lightning to get here into the finals. Again, they didn't have the best game, but it got them here, so that's all that counts.
Yep, that's true.
They've only lost twice all season, and of course, one of those was
to Saracens.
So it's definitely revenge time today for them. And not forgetting that they're the top point scorers in the Tyrrell's 15 with 759 points. That's pretty damn impressive.
Definitely.
And they have the second meanest defence, only slowly losing out to
Saracens.
So with all these comparisons, I think today's game is going to be pretty close.
It's going to be a tight game, that's for sure. So where do you see their main threats then, Amy?
I think they're very similar to Saracens, so I think it's a bit hard to say, but if I had to pick out one player, I would say Jade Conkle. 2 tries in the semi-finals. Can she do the same again here today? And for the backs, I'd have to say Heather Cowell, she's the top try scorer for Harlequins.
Yep.
And Emily Scott, she had a great semi-final.
No, I completely agree with that. So, Amy, who do you think is going to win this game today?
Well, Adam, I previewed the Harlequins, but I'm going to have to go with the home team, I'm afraid, and say Saracens. Home advantage.
Okay, not a bad shout.
What about you?
Well, if anyone hasn't seen my preview on our YouTube channel, go and check it out. But I have said Quins earlier in the week, and I'm sticking with Quins. I think that Saracens have had a brilliant season. The problem with Sarries is that they can sometimes get too complacent and they can let a lead slip or even...
yeah, but they always come bouncing back.
They do come bouncing back. I said this before, I said it before the Wasps game, and excuse the pun, but I did get stung. But you can't have 3 major players out, the likes of Packer, Fleetwood and Cleal, and expect to keep up performance. They've got a great squad, but I just feel like today, Quins are going to take the title.
They're in for that revenge. Okay, so that's enough from us, so let's go and see what the fans are saying.
Okay, so we found some fans today. First off, we've got Ian and Jenny. Really stupid question to start off with. Who are you here to support?
Harlequins.
Harlequin, I guessed that because you're wearing a Harlequins top. Brilliant. And where have you come from today?
We've come down from Sheffield.
From Sheffield?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. How come?
Well, we're all Northampton fans, so we come down here as often as we can. And obviously, Jenny's into her rugby. She plays for the local team, Sheffield Tigers. Some of her favourite players play for Harlequins, so we made the trip down.
Brilliant. And who are some of your favourite players?
Rachel Burford.
Rachel Burford. Okay. Anyone else?
And Jess Reed.
Rachel Burford and Jess Breach. Okay. This may be a silly question, but who do you think is going to win today?
Harlequins.
Harlequins, okay. And in terms of, have you watched any other women's rugby throughout the season?
I try and watch it as often as I can. I know Jenny's dad takes it to quite a few games that they've been up at Doncaster. So this is the first chance I've had to come and support in person.
And what an occasion
What a brilliant time,
to be here. And obviously the stands are building up. Why do you think the women's rugby has grown so much in popularity?
I think the standard is so close to the men's game that you can't really put a huge amount between them. And all it needs now is the support for people to get behind it, and then the money will start flowing in, and then there's no reason why it shouldn't match or even surpass the men's game, especially with people like this playing.
Absolutely, definitely. And are you hopefully one day going to be out there on the pitch playing? Yeah, I bet. We'll look out for you. I'm going to ask you the tricky question last. What is the score going to be today?
What's the score going to be? I think it's going to be a close game, so we'll go 23-20 to Harlequins.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you very much, and enjoy the game.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I didn't have to look much further to find some Saracen fans. So we have Martin and Zara. Are you excited about today's game?
Yeah.
Been looking forward to this match all season, to tell you the truth. When this is the fixture of the league, I think this makes the whole season brilliant. This is last year was amazing, but we've been so excited waiting for this.
Yeah.
And it must be like deja vu because you're back playing the Harlequins in the final.
Yeah.
Well, you look out there, you can make an England squad out of that. You can make an England squad out of that, and as I said before, the excitement about this game, the build up to this game. If you want a game that you can use as a platform for the women's game, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. This is
It's a
the
good
most
competition.
It is. And do you see it growing more and more by the year? We're only in the second year of it. So next year, do you think that it could possibly be at Twickenham?
That's what we hope.
Yeah?
Definitely hope that. Even if it's, for instance, like the men's game when they had the Sarries versus Harlequins and played at the Olympic Arena, a stadium like that, just to get more fans in and make it the game and the support that it needs and just justify it. This is just such an amazing fixture. And as I say, the two best teams are here, obviously by their finish, but the two best teams, just looking now, Jess Breach, you've got Lotte Clapp, you've got all the I think, the best players there.
And do you play yourself, Zara?
Yeah, I play for Dutchworth under 10s.
Oh, amazing. What position do you play?
We don't do positions yet, but I'm hoping to be a centre.
Okay. So do you dream of playing for Saracens one day?
Yeah.
Yeah? And England?
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, we will definitely keep an eye on you. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the game. Can we get a final prediction? Score prediction?
Go on, you go first.
26-22.
Oh, that's
to
a good one.
Saracens,
Yeah.
I'll go with
definitely.
that. Oh,
Come
dear.
on, the Saracens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk about deja vu for the team allocated as the home side for today's final. 9 players who featured in last year's 24-20 TP15's final win over Quins play in this match. And there is a solitary change to the starting 15 from their 31-13 semi-final win over Wasps Ladies. Lauren Newman replaces Chrissy Sichoa, who is unavailable due to commitments with RAF Rugby. Hannah Bottoman and Lotte Clapp both scored in last year's final and in the semi-finals this season, so could we see a double treble today from them? On the bench, Sarah Bebbington comes in for Kat Robinson, who is also on RAF Rugby duty, and England Sevens international Chantel Mealer has been rewarded for a strong end of the season form with a place on the bench in place of top scorer Georgie Lingham. This match has extra significance for one Saracens player, scrum half Georgie Gulliver, who calls time on her rugby career after this match. She and her teammates will be hoping it's a celebratory send-off.
Like their opponents, there are minimum changes to the Harlequin Ladies, although the changes that they've made are significant. Fiona Fletcher starts at blindside flanker, replacing Shauna Brown, who misses out through a significant hamstring injury, which she picked up in the Quins semi-final against Loughborough. Sadly for her, she requires surgery. American international Christine Sommer is also out with an injury. That means that Australian international Chloe Butler moves into the starting lineup, having featured as a sub last week. The rest of the starting 15 is the same. Among the game changers is Ireland front row Leah Lyons, who makes her first appearance in the matchday squad since returning from an injury sustained in this year's Women's Six Nations. Also, look out for the quality of Zoe Sainer and Holly Myers on the Quins bench.
Karen, what can I say? Really sorry.
Yeah.
I guess the first question is, how are you feeling at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, look, let's face it, we're getting really hurt. It's going to really hurt. It's the second year in a row, and the squad they're such a phenomenal bunch of individuals, and they're just so talented. And I just think they know that they didn't play the game they wanted to play today, and there's nothing you can do about that in the coaching box. It all comes down to what's going on the turf, and we just gave them too much respect in the first half, too much space, too much time on ball, and fair play to Saracens. We never underestimate our opposition. We're two good squads. Best two sides I think were in the final, which was a great advert for the women's game and just how competitive the season has been. But it's just hard. It's a really hard way to finish a season off when you've been just building towards it and coming through a really tough semi-final against Loughborough. So, yeah, disappointed.
I completely understand that. And going into the final, you guys have been on such an upward trajectory of form.
Yeah.
Did it surprise you that the first half it kicked off and just the girls were on the back foot for most of the first half?
I mean, they were on the back foot because Saracens came at us. They came at us with a kitchen sink, and it kept on coming. And they were really physical and they were really direct. And in fact, they gave us a real, it was almost like the game plan that we wanted to play for the first 40 minutes. But I think there's no way you can create, it's a mountain to climb if you concede 27 points to Saracens. And, had we scored maybe, 27 getting at half time, that's a different story. I always knew we would have a really good last 20 minutes in us. And to be fair, we asked for the girls to restore a bit of pride at half time and come out and play the game plan we wanted to play. And they did in the second half, but it was just too much. It was just too much.
Did it feel like everything you did just wasn't,
Yeah, there was a couple of bounces today and a couple of bits of the rub of the green, and you just thought, it just went the wrong way, didn't it? And but it's really tough. I mean, these two sides are going to battle. It's going to be a physical contest, and you've got to set out your stall, and you can't afford, to give 40 minutes away at this level in the game. And the competition now was so intense, and there's just such a good advert for the game, I think, this year.
Absolutely, and you have one of the best sides in this league, without question. How do you pick everyone up now after this game? Yeah,
I mean, I think the players, to be fair, deserve some time off with their families and their close loved ones, and they just need to recharge their batteries. It's been a long old year, long season, and it was 12 months waiting. We really wanted 12 months to come round and get into this final again, and guess what? We're just going to have to work twice as hard next year. Twice as much, and get into that final again.
And just confirm, you and Gary will be at the club.
Oh
next year.
Yeah, we'll be here, and and we've got the good thing is we've got such a young talented squad coming through that it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be involved in coaching women's rugby. The talent that is coming up through the grassroots game, through the centre of excellences. And all of that, and it's pushing competition at the top, which is exactly what we want to see in the sport. So is it exciting? Yes. Does it mean we've got to work 3 times as hard next year? Yes. But yeah, we'll put our sights on being here at the same time next year.
And hopefully we'll be there to see you do it as well. We've got some more questions, but I tell you what, we're looking forward to seeing you guys next season. So let's save it for the new season.
Okay.
Karen, really sorry again, but commiserations, and hope you have a good summer off.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Hannah, congratulations. That's 2 years in a row now that the Saracens have won this. It must be absolutely amazing. What is the buzz in the camp right now?
Everyone's just elated. You couldn't get a better feeling than this. I wasn't there last season, so it's my first season back into the first team, and to win, it's just amazing. I can't describe it, to be honest.
How are you guys going to be celebrating this evening?
With lots of tequila, and just we're all going to go out as a team and just celebrate and just as a unit.
And you guys had quite a lot of injuries as well, so to come back and win, how does that feel?
yeah, it just goes to show the depth that we have in our squad, because obviously they're really key players and we do miss them on the pitch, but people from the dev team and at training just stepping up and filling those roles, and it is, yeah, and then obviously we won.
Yeah. And you guys had a lot of substitutions as well, didn't you?
Yeah. My knee's been playing up for a bit, so it's just come off, getting tired towards the end. But the bench come on, they're our finishers, so they add impact when they come on, and yeah, the result says it all, really.
It does. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'll let you go and celebrate with the girls, and have a great time tonight.
Okay, thank you very much.
And we'll see you again next season.
Yeah, cheers, thank you. Bye.
Lotte Clapp, back-to-back Tyrrell Premier 15s champions. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. I mean, completely blown away by the performance that we put out there today. It was something that we knew we had to deliver on. We weren't going to get a second win easy, so we knew that we had to come out here and kind of put everything into it, and that's what we did.
Well, you say that as a bit of an understatement. The first half, you flew out the blocks.
Yeah.
What was said before the game even started to get you so hyped up?
We were just thinking about all the players that have been before, all the players that we know that we want to fill that shirt for, all the staff, everything that's been put behind the whole season. It's been a long season, it's been a tough season, like I said. Players have got injured throughout, players have played like their absolute socks off throughout the whole of the season. So it's a case of just looking back and knowing what an amazing season we had. We just didn't want to leave it there.
It has been an incredible season for you guys. What makes this squad so special?
I think we work a lot on being as one team. Alex has done an unbelievable job coming into the side. I know we won last year, but at the same time I think he's pushed us on to another level and got us kind of playing as one and doing different things that we wouldn't have done last year, and I think that's kind of credit to him, the way that he's pushed us and the way that he's made us kind of become leaders of ourselves. I mean, we've got Zoe Harrison, we've got 20-year-olds leading sides, leading units, and it's been amazing to kind of have those players come out of their shells and kind of take us on that one step further.
You scored last year.
Yes.
You scored in the semi.
Yes.
Did you think you'd have scored in the final again?
I don't know. They didn't give it, and it was very, very close, so absolutely gutted, didn't get on the score sheet, but do you know what? Doesn't matter, we got the medal, we got the trophy.
Absolutely, and I need to ask you, was it harder to win it last time or was it harder to win it this year?
I don't know, that's a really tough question. I think it was just as hard last year because it was so close and we were having to play down to that 80th minute. We knew we had to keep control, and we knew even with that they were still only a couple of tries away, we knew that we couldn't drop, we had to keep possession. So yeah, this year was just as hard, but the fact that we came out and performed just made it that bit easy for us.
And now you're back-to-back champions. I guess the question now for next season is, what do you guys have to do to stay at that top level? You're going to have a target on your back now for every single team in this league.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think we've just got to work on ourselves. It's going to be a big pre-season. I know that Alex is planning lots of pre-season games with French teams to kind of get us come together as that squad side, so it doesn't take us as long to kind of get into the season. I think there was quite a few games at the beginning of the season where it took us a while to kind of find the way we wanted to play. So if we can come in the beginning of the season and just go from there, like just start how we mean to go on, that will be a good way forward for us.
Sure. And finally, what are you most looking forward to now that the season is over?
Finishing my PGCE, if I'm honest with you. I've got a teaching degree to finish, so now that I've done this, I've done the rugby, I can get my teaching degree out of the way and that can be all done and dusted.
Brilliant. Listen, Lotte, congratulations again. You're a double champion. Well done. Go enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tove, obviously that isn't the result that you guys were looking for. Obviously last year, a repeat of that, and then 12 months in the making for today. But you came in the second half, it seemed like you picked up momentum, it was going well. Tell me how that team talk went down at half time.
I think at half time we knew that we hadn't put out the show or the performance that we really wanted to, so we really had that chat at half time that we have to pick up the momentum, and in a game like this momentum's key. We need to be on the front foot and we need to get off the line and we need to create space and pace on the ball, and that was what we wanted to do coming out for that second half.
And you were doing it was going so well. Oh, I'm absolutely gutted for you guys. Yeah. But you're going to come back next year, stronger?
stronger, fitter, higher performance. That's what we all want to do, and we want to play these really, really tough games, and obviously we want to come out on the top end, and we're going to have to make sure that we do it for next year instead.
Well, I wish you all the best for next season, and I hope you have some drinks tonight to
Thank you.
cheer you all up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tove.
Yeah, thank you.
What a game. Saracens came out unstoppable right from the start, but second half, Harlequins seemed like they caught some momentum. It could have gone their way, but it didn't. Saracens ended up retaining the title. Adam, what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, look, you were right first and foremost. I was wrong. You predicted the outcome. What can I say? Look, it was a very strange game. You would expect a team of Harlequins quality to match Saracens, especially how they finished off the end of the season. But I think Saracens just had too much quality. They just didn't show any nerves whatsoever, and they were ruthless. And fair play to them, they're back-to-back champions.
I think that Harlequins definitely gave them too much space, and I honestly thought it was going to be a closer game because of the points.
Yeah.
In the
second half.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. I think you're absolutely right, Emma.
But also in the actual league as well.
Oh, points in the league. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Look, I think we said before, Quins are a quality side. They're very similar to Saracens, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what happens over the course of the season.
It's all about what happens on the day.
Correct. It's all about what happens on the day, and fair play to Alex Osterbury. He has drilled that side to perfection, and it paid off for him.
It did.
So,
how are they going to top it next season?
I do not know. back champions, potentially. But look, thank you everyone that has followed us throughout the course of this season. I guess you could say that this is the last episode of this season of the Women's Rugby Show, but don't worry, because we will be bringing you more content from the women's game over the summer. I promise you that. But before we go anywhere, we've got a very special competition for you right now. Check it out.
We have 2 tickets to the HSBC London Sevens up for grabs at Twickenham at the end of May. So how do you win these? Well, you need to be subscribed to our YouTube channel, you need to be following us on all social media, and then when you've done all of that, you need to DM us and let us know what your YouTube name is. Good luck.
I mean, that looks absolutely awesome.
It is awesome, and one of you lucky subscribers is going to be winning it, so don't forget to enter. So thank you very much for joining us, and I'm just going to leave it on this last 4 things that we need you to do.
Number 1, please do press the like button on this video. I know your thumb with your fingers right there. Just press the like button, please.
And number 2, while you're at it, please subscribe to this channel.
Number 3, if you aren't already, and there's thousands of people that already are, but do follow us on social media at Women's Rugby Show.
And lastly, tell everyone you know about the Women's Rugby Show.
Tell everyone!
Tell them all!
Guys, thank you so much. And like we said, we will be dropping more content, so come back soon. But for now, it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
See you soon.